The Corporate Connect program, organized by the Office of the Commissioner of Income Tax, Guwahati, Northeastern Region, was held on March 11, 2025 in Shillong. Addressing the event, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax Shillong N. Longwa emphasized key points regarding tax deduction and tax collection, reminding participants to keep proper records of their income and to pay their taxes on time. Participants were also informed about the new TDS/TCS provisions, recent updates under the Finance Act 2025, and were guided on how to use the Trace portal for online processes. The session concluded with an open question and answer segment where participants were able to clarify their doubts and concerns. Ian.
This will be a good platform to request all the top taxpayers present here today to please pay a better tax so that we not only, we contribute together towards the progress of the nation. And many of you might be thinking, I will assess my tax and pay a self-assessment tax at the time of filing my return. Please don't do it. And because unnecessarily you'll be ending up paying lots of interest under 234A BC. So this is my humble request. And secondly, many of the top corporates who are present here, they have several employees under them. Some of them might be claiming 1026, some of maybe non-1026 region employees. So for those people who are claiming 1026, who are tribal, whose income is earned from this region, who are residing over here, please tell them, to come forward and file the form number 13 and get an exemption under 197. Because in this process, they will not unnecessarily get inquiry letter, nor the information will not be flagged by the inside also in such cases if they exceed a certain tax limit. And if you are, and please tell your clients or yourself to open this email ID, which you have registered email ID with our department frequently, so that at least to see what you have received from the department. Because you must have seen some people must have received a big tax demand orders. That is mainly because of non-compliance. So to avoid all these things, I would request you that to give the email ID correctly and also to open it frequently. Yeah. So once again, I want to request all of you to contribute towards the nation building and achieve the Viksit Bharat, which India is envisaging by the year 2047. And I hope all of us will be a part of this journey.
Advantage Assam, I think it's cutting across sectors, cutting across multiple segments and stratas. There will be huge, game-changing proposals and investment projects that will come down. The only thing is that land is definitely a criteria in different parts of the region. It's not uniform in all states. The different states have different land tenure act, different land movement schedules are there in different states. That could be definitely some kind of a bottleneck in different cases. But in most cases, we have given our recommendation to the states. Now, for example, Meghalaya has changed with the new industrial policy also coming up from the Government of India, the Ministry of Donor and the Industry and Commerce Ministry. Things are looking bright, but I think the respective states have to be enlightened on different aspects of it, and also how they would infuse the entrepreneurial spirit to the youngsters. I think most of the states don't have job vacancies now. Most of the departments have shut down. There are hardly any technical kind of vacancies coming up in departments, most of the departments in most of the states. So I think that could turn into some kind of an entrepreneurial turnaround there. There is an opportunity. And definitely in adversity lies opportunity. And with the Tatas coming up, I think Vedanta, Mr. Agarwal, Anil Agarwal was there. We had a discussion on this on the 25th and 26th of last month. I think they are into a huge kind of an exploration in this region, which previously due to insurgency in most states and some kind of media coverage which always focused on the negative aspects of the region. So that really didn't allow them or encourage them to come ahead. Now it looks brighter with different policies coming up. We are becoming it to states also, different states, to go for an overhaul of the industrial policies in the state. The tax plays an important role, the incentives plays a role there. I think TDS comes into the play in different aspects there also in the states. In Meghalaya, since 97 till of late, last year there was a single policy that continued. We called it SWA. Now it is changed. It's no more existent in that way. Now we have one for the micro, small, medium, below 25 lakhs. By the Chief Secretary, he presiding over that committee, and the Chief Minister is the chairman of anything above 25 lakhs. So there are things which have changed, which were existent for say 3 decades, 2.5 to 3 decades. Now it's on a change. So I would definitely ask our August gathering here to take a serious look towards people who are not working in government or who are self-employed, to take a serious look into entrepreneurial prospects more so in this region. Yeah, definitely there are, as I said, there are bottlenecks with lands, the infrastructure. I think there will be infrastructural changes now with the SEZ coming up in different places, different states. I keep on inspecting and surveying the whole land and other nitty-gritty things. Power could be another challenge. In Meghalaya, people are living, most of our friends, many of them have left Meghalaya because of the power constraints. If there is no production for 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, it doesn't make any sense or viability. So to have viability in any industry, manufacturing, we need to have power is the number one constraint. The grey market exists. With all countries around us, most of these countries I'm mentioning, bilateral trade suffers because of the grey market. There is a constant grey market, parallel market around, which definitely damages prospects for revenue collection as well as everything around. I mean, foreign currency doesn't come in because if it's happening one-to-one, and 5 people gain out of it. Any grey market trade, any kind of off the track official trade, it's only because of few people and nobody gains out of it. Now the country gains in revenue or foreign exchange, everything suffers. So it's a very critical phase for this region. We can't be depending on our neighbors now, it seems, for bilateral, multilateral trade. And so we have to go for manufacturing in a whole scale. There has to be a land leasing system in every state. The land bank should come up. We are trying our best to get it down at the ground level. It's very difficult. Work culture is definitely a very big challenge in this region. If anybody asks me, when investors ask me, I think they were asking me the other day, Adani and those people who are there, Vedanta, I gave it a single challenge in this region is the work culture in different states.
Actually, those who are actually taxed from the tax bar association or the chartered accountant, it will be simply a refresher for them. Because they are generally dealing with all these things, but it will just help a refresher from them. And those who are from the corporate, definitely it will be helpful for them, we understand. So before going into the TTS provisions and what is there in the TTS and TCS provisions, so while we will be going through the presentation, probably we will be listening 2 terms actually, 2-3 terms. So let me tell you the first 2-3 terms. One term will come across here, because once we say about the TDS or TCS, whatever it may be, the 2 terms comes most often. That is, one is deductor and one is deductive. The deductor is the person who is responsible for making the payment. So that terminology is used, deductor. And the person from whom the money has been deducted, it is the deductee. 194C, those who are from corporate sector, they are coming very regularly. That part, that is 194C. That is most important for them also, because 192, 194C, will be every day they will be facing, if they are getting this payment, they are making payment to the contractors. That is 194C. Then the section 194D is the insurance commission. 194DA is the payment in respect of the life insurance policy. 194E, payments to non-resident sportsmen or sports association. 194EE, that is payments in respect of deposits and national savings scheme. Section 194G, the commission on sale of lottery tickets. Section 194H, that is once we pay commission, because it is also in corporate sector, some pay commissions, maybe they are paying commissions or brokerage. So the TDS has to be deducted on that commission and brokerage, and that has to be done under section 194H. Another thing which is also required for corporate sector, that is 194I, because if we have your own building, there is no need to pay rent. But if we have on a hired building, then definitely you are paying rent. So it has been governed under section 194I. 194J is also equally important for the for corporate sector. That is because most of the corporate sector, they engage some professionals, chartered accountants, some professionals, lawyers. So they are making payments to that chartered accountant, lawyers for maintaining their accounts for the legal matters. So they are making the payments to the lawyers or the chartered accountant, and there are certain tax has to be, the deduction has to be made, and that has to be made under section 194J. Similarly, 194IA is the payment on transfer of certain immovable property. When we purchase an immovable property beyond certain threshold limit, that has to be, some tax has to be deducted, and that is to be done, that is generally is done under section 194IA. TDS concept is not exactly available here. That is pay as you want. Generally, what our commissioner has said in his speech, that pay as you want. That is not here in pay as you want. Or collect as income is being earned is not applied in this year. So who is being actually taxed here? It is account holder who is keeping the money in the bank account. They are being taxed for the cash withdrawal from their accounts from the bank or post office. But why? Because when a government of India introduces any scheme or any law, so there is something is behind that, and why it has been introduced. Let us see it. It is basically, as it has been introduced to discourage a large cash transaction, so that trail is there. That one is cash is withdrawn, so government knows it has been withdrawn. Because if TDS is deducted, then the bank would be depositing that TDS to the government of India, or the return will be filed by the deductor or bank. So there will be trail, government will be knowing who is withdrawing the cash. This is one. Secondly, the government of India is, as you all know, that is promoting for cashless digital economy, and also more transparent and verifiable to reduce the generation of black money. Because you know that in India we have a very big cash economy is there. So to curtail that cash economy or black economy, whatever we say, that is one of the method that has been that is introduced by the government of India, that is 194M, and to improve the tax compliances. So now again, as I told you initially, the TDS, government says TDS, that some responsibility has to be given to somebody to deduct it. Then who will the person who will deduct it? So there are the three persons there. That is banking company, that is cooperative bank, and the post office. Generally we used to keep money in these fund. Though there are other private sector maybe there, but these are the three basic. We think that any banking company under the Banking Regulation Act, cooperative bank, post office. And deducted from whom has to be deducted? Any resident or non-resident who is the account holder keeping the money in that bank or post office or cooperative bank.
This is an initiative of the department, income tax department, to have a corporate connect, that is to interact with the corporate sector and also taxpayers to know their problems and to sensitize them, to discuss those defaults if there are any, and also to clarify some technical issues if they face any problem, and also to appreciate and recognize the role of the taxpayers. You know, we interact, we have a connect with them so that we have a better understanding between the taxpayers and also the department. Because ultimately, the department as well as the taxpayers, the corporate sectors in fact are huge stakeholders where TDS plays a very important role. In direct tax collection, almost 50% of the tax collections are from the TDS. Therefore, we want them to, deduct the correct tax and also remit in time and also improve the voluntary compliance. That is why, to improve the connection, we have these programs. This time we have it in Shillong. Last month we have it in Guwahati, and before that we had in Silchar. And apart from that, we are also having many smaller sensitization programs, outreach programs. But this time we have held in Shillong as a capital city, and it is most probably, it is not only Shillong but all over Meghalaya. All the companies and all the corporate sectors all over Meghalaya have participated today. Yes, corporate sectors and also other taxpayers and also professionals from ICAI, from Tax Bar Association, and all the stakeholders.